the search, they can conduct the search. But another thing for you to consider, Mr. Kimmer, is that the administration is concerned with the welfare and safety of the students. They want to do what's best for all the students, including the student that's being searched. When you bring in police to investigate, their only concern is, did a crime occur, and can we meet the elements of the crime?
Okay.
I mean, they have two different motives of what they're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
So, as a practical matter, the administration you'd want them searching rather than the police, because once the police get involved,
I'm 100%
that is a
with
criminal fraud.
Right. So I'm 100% with you with that. But my point is, when you said earlier that students, just like in the public, they still carry rights.
Correct.
We just got to make sure that as an administration, we're not overstepping those rights of that person.
But when you're getting searched, you don't have a right to pay for searches. If you get pulled over and the police want to search, you can be searched if they have a problem.
But a police officer has a lot more.
And again, there's another clarification that should probably be made is he has a higher standard for conducting searches than the rest of the administration does, because he is a court-appointed police officer.
And are we going to use that court-appointed police officer to do these searches going forward, or are we going to still let our administration do it?
They will only get brought in as something is found.
Even if the student says, I'd like someone else to do this, an impartial person?
You can still do it. You can still do it.
I know you can, but are you going to?
That's my recommendation would be yes.
The answer is going to be yes. You're going to not give the child that opportunity and right.
It's safe in the best interest of the school, the students, the staff, and make a good faith effort to do it, absolutely.
So then, just to piggyback on that, okay, so the best interest of the students and the safety of the students, are we gonna have some sort of clear, like, definition as to what this, that, and other thing are considered the safety of a student, well-being of a student, and that would constitute X, Y, and Z?
Anything that is considered,
or is it all just
anything that's considered safety, whether it's weapons, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's a box cutter, whether it's a bullet, whatever it is, I mean, that's a safety issue. Now,
would you consider that contraband type thing, right?
Right, or threat of something, because that is injuring the child. I mean, that's even if a parent allows them to do it, they're still not permitted to do it at school. But the other part of it is, to give you an example, we're not going to, call the cops in to do every type of search that we do, because there may not be there at that time.
Or they may not have enough to do it.
That's the other part of it too. Yeah. Correct.
And because a police officer has higher standards of rights for the individual.
Even questioning. Even questioning. We do the questioning.
Right.
We'll do the questioning.
So there's even situations where the contraband item isn't necessarily illegal,
right,
but it's prohibited in that particular setting. For example, I have a headache, so I bring Tylenol in my pocket. Okay? Well, those are white pills in someone's pocket. Now, could someone have a reaction? My friend also has a headache. Here's a Tylenol. There's a reaction to that medication. This is where I couldn't necessarily call Lehighton Police, School Police, and say I want the student arrested or cited for Tylenol. That's not going to happen. But that's why I didn't say, look, this violates what the protocols are here in the school. It's a rules violation. And you take measures accordingly.
Right, and I do believe there was a court case where the girl had over-the-counter pills, and they searched her, and it was a legal search because it went extensively to what her rights were. So I would use that example.
But the other thing is too, there's different rules and regulations out there that are different here at the school too.
Right.
When students are allowed to attend school at 21 years of age, doesn't mean they can bring a case of beer in the school instead of the cafeteria and drink it. I mean, even though legally that they have rights and everything else, but they can't legally do that. So that's it's an extreme example, but it's
still can't bring tobacco products.
Yeah, someone 18 still can't bring in tobacco products, even though they're allowed to, to use it. If an adult is smoking on school property, that's not, it's not.
So the teachers are monitored too?
What's that?
Are the teachers monitored for these
If we
risks?
would know, if we would hear it, we would address it, and that's a whole nother situation, that's a whole nother set of.
Right, I understand.
And then I can
Brought
get
to our
that involved
attention, we
right away.
addressed
I believe that's actually in that book 300 section.
I would just like, the reason for this meeting was because we approved these handbooks in July, and it was thought that the public had a right to input. So you've heard about the handbooks, you've looked at them. Is there anyone in this room who feels they need to be changed?
I do.
You're a board member?
Other than the student.
I know.
I'm a citizen.
Other than the student,
Okay.
right?
I'm a citizen, just like everybody else in this room.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not
me
in boards
personally,
today.
what we spoke about.
Yep.
And I think, you know, and I think that's fair.
We can make that work, that doesn't need to go, that's a policy.
And the other thing I want to say is, at that meeting, we also said that we accept these handbooks because they were prepared by professionals. You've heard these people describe what they do tonight. Is there anyone here who feels that I could do a better job as a school board member?
And that's what I was saying earlier, because there's a lot of stuff, because they deal
They
with the
know the
students every
best.
day.
So if
that-
they come to me
They
with
can
a
come to you with
handbook
a
and they
suggested
say,
policy
this
as
is
well.
what I'd like you
Yeah.
to approve, you know what? They got it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No,
And we've always said to the parents, guardians, whatever, if there's something that you're not sure of, or not aware of, if you have a question, please come to us, give us a call. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're not here to turn people away or anything else, we're here to explain and to work together, because the bottom line is, it's all our community, and it takes a whole community to raise a kid.
And the last thing I'd just like to say is, and I'm sure this is going to date me, and that's fine, there are handbooks here, all the rules are there. If you want to know how an infraction is going to be handled, my advice to you is simply don't do it.
Well, sometimes you don't do it, but you get accused of it, though, let's be honest. And that's kind of go into consideration as well.
Sometimes I do it.
Anything else?
You want to go first, sir?
Huh?
Did you want to go first?
No, you go right ahead.
Andy?
My only comment was to him was, if you ask for them to do a search on your student, your son or daughter or whoever it is for something in their book bag or whatever, and your son or daughter says, no, I want him to do it, the police officer to do it, have your son know that when he does it, there's paperwork involved every time. And it's in record every time. When they do it, or one of the supervisors of the school do it, and it's adopting legal, it can be passed off. But his record is all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
But Mr. Kluter said that's not an option.
Well, that's my statement, okay?
I respect that.
Are the parents notified when you're going to do a search?
No, most of the time, depending on the situation. If someone comes in and says, this student showed me a firearm or something, no, we're not gonna say, okay, we're gonna call the parent. We're gonna go directly to the source and, detain the student and do a process and review the student. If someone comes and says, especially at the elementary level, somebody had, something on them, depending on what it may be. But one thing we do is we call and notify the parent or guardian, that they were served. This is the situation. Many times there's nothing found, but we want to notify the parent that this is what was, told to us. This is, what we did, and, just wanted them to be aware.
Typically, what Mrs. Howland and I will do if a search is warranted under reasonable suspicion, we'll contact the parent after the search is done. Because if we are searching a student, there's a sense of urgency and immediacy to the contraband item, whether it be weapon, whether it be inhalant, whether it be other substance, that I would worry about potential health. For example, if I get a report that a student has some sort of inhalant, and I have a reasonable suspicion to look for that inhalant, I want to determine what that inhalant is first. I'm not going to make 3 or 4 phone calls, or maybe if I'm lucky, one phone call and get somebody while the kid is sitting there with a possible drug item on them. I need to determine what that is. Vaping is the big thing right now. That's a trend. Those can be modified for marijuana, methamphetamine, various other substances are going into those vapes beyond flavored water, okay? So I want to see if that item is there, so I can determine, does this kid need medical attention first? That's the primary goal.
I can see that happening with a gun. I can't, or a knife, but I can't see that happening with everything else.
With an inhalant? How do I know what's being inhaled? The only inhalant that's permitted within a school is an asthma inhaler.
And that's
It's turned over to the nurse and it is on an asthma plan.
So when we get everything from electronic cigarettes to vaporizer pens to Juuls to the
Marijuana pens.
They've been modified for THC, hash oil, methamphetamine, some other Lord knows what chemicals they're putting in there. That's priority number one. And then once it's determined, okay, this is something that not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's not a drug, then my priority two is I'm going to get the parents in there and have a discussion with them.
I wouldn't even know what any of that, pen, I wouldn't even know any of that stuff looks like.
You try to see.
Would you like to see? We're happy to show.
Yeah, I would like to see what
Excellent.
some of them look like.
It comes in all shapes and sizes and colors. And
Show and tell. Everything you touch.
Okay, here we go, lesson in vaping. This is a traditional old school, all of these confiscated in our high school. This is a traditional old school vape, you can't hide that thing too easily. Oh, here's my stylus. Oh wait, no, that's a modified stylus. That's actually not for an iPad. This is used to inhale various chemicals. You can put everything in that, from flavored water to THC and hash oil.
How did that get passed?
That was based on reasonable
Falls out of your pocket in English by your floor.
Be surprised, kids will come and tell you this is what's going on.
Bathroom smells of smoke.
Here.
Falls out of your pocket on the classroom floor.
This is the most common one. This is called the Juul. It looks like a computer USB stick. All right, this can go in my pocket. I can put this inside behind my tie. I can put it in my
Up my sleeve.
sock is the most common one. You know, I can drop this in my bag. That's what it looks like. Inside of this is what's called a pod. Inside that pod is, again, everything from flavors to Lord knows what chemicals they're able to inject into that. Okay, so here's the starter one. Okay, the starter one, this will get it plugged into a wall. It's actually a USB port at the end of that. You plug it into a wall and
And
charge it.
just details so you are aware, the Juul pod is equivalent to about 1 pack of cigarettes or 200 puffs. So this one pod